In this next article from the Daily Mail, Proud Boy member may be jailed for crossing state lines. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of quote-unquote right-wing extremist Tolista Tosi, a murdered name, 24 from Washington. He's accused of violating terms of his probation by traveling out of state to clash with protesters. And if he was actually a leftist, they would say the government is interfering with his right to protest peacefully. But no, since he's a member of the Proud Boys, which is a conservative group, which is not a right-wing extremist group. It is, in fact, indeed, actually a group of people based off of a joke from an Aladdin movie. And they don't actually engage in any sort of pattern of violence that's any different than any other group of people. I mean, just look at every group of people. Punk rockers, your death metal people, your rave kids, your hip hoppers, your African Americans, your Wham-Man, your Kleenex. Look at every single one of those groups of people. Every last one of them will have groups of people that resemble the Proud Boys. Every single one. There will be Antifa who kind of mirror the Proud Boys. There will be black people who have structures similar to the Proud Boys, such as the Black Panthers. But none of them are called far right, and that's because they're not white males. Because these people are white males, and because they're Republicans, this then makes them far right, and everything they do is now to be demonized because white men are privileged. They have been oppressing the African Americans and the Wham-Men and the Kleenex, and they have to have their white privilege attacked. You need to check your white privilege at the door. You need to bow down and kiss the black people's feet and allow them to riot and loot and murder for reparations because the white people have insurance. You do know that the people who pay for the insurance are actually the customers, right? So it's not just they have insurance. It's you're stealing from everyone when you do that. But to these people, everything is a lie. George Floyd, that dude was like a horrible, horrible drug skis ball, bottom of the barrel, drug addict, heroin addict, meth addict. He did home invasion robberies. He passed off counterfeit money. He was, by all definitions, a skis bag. Then you got Breonna Taylor, the narcotics trafficker, who did not have a no-knock warrant executed. It was actually a knock warrant. They had a no-knock warrant, but they didn't. They actually knocked because they knew they had the suspect in custody already. But to you, it was a no-knock warrant, and they thought that the suspect was there, but they were really in custody. Yeah, that's called a game of telephone with a bunch of lying hood Democrats who have a political agenda to prove. So you can't trust anything that they say because they... all of them are trying to either get more money or to get out of jail or to justify the hate. There's all kinds of horrible reasons why all these people are doing what they're doing. And out of all of the people in this entire thing, the Proud Boys are definitely not any sort of way, shape, or form egregious actors. I mean, yeah, they've probably done some stuff that's similar to what maybe some of the other guys out in the country, or me personally, when I was growing up, when I was in like 8th grade, I was jumped by a bunch of guys out in the country. They were white males. They beat me up, left me in a ditch for dead. I have no idea who they were. I was new in town at that point in time. Nobody knew me. So it was a random act of violence, and it was against me, and could have gotten killed that night. I've almost been murdered a bunch of times in my life, actually. And out of everybody who's ever wronged me, a Proud Boy's never wronged me, dude. I've almost been murdered by black people many times. I've also I've had a lot of cops point guns at me. I've been caught with drugs. I've been to many raves that have been busted. And though, I think that we need to legalize drugs, but the reality that I see is that the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my life was almost being murdered by a serial killer, a black gangbanger from Atlanta, in the terrifying hostage situation where I tried to claw out of the RV closet, and then a serial killer pulled me out of the closet with an AK-47, and a pregnant woman grabbed a pistol, and it turned into a multi-hour standoff situation with people yelling at each other, threatening to kill me. Even though I have 2 drug felonies, and I really think drugs should be legalized, all of the stuff that I've experienced from the cops, the serial killer almost killing me that night far outweighs all of the things the police ever did to me. Because if I had been killed, I would just not be here, and that would just be the biggest thing that ever happened to me. Because I would be dead at that point in time. But luckily, I'm not, and I'm very thankful for that. I do wish to know whether or not that pregnant woman was murdered that night. I don't know. He threatened to kill me and everyone in my house and burn my house down if I ever told anyone. And I do really regret not going to the police that night. That dude didn't resemble Proud Boy in any way, shape, or form. That dude looked like a drugged out black guy who's a gangbanger, and he's a serial killer because he was a gangbanger. He said he killed 6 people. That's what he told me. And I don't think that if you've not experienced this, I don't know if you could exactly understand how terrifying that would be. But you could kind of understand how terrifying that would be. I'm really getting tired of the slander of groups such as Patriot Prayer as far right. Far right means that you're like an authoritarian dictator or like the KKK. It does not mean that you are a patriot and that you support 2A and that sometimes you play militia in paintball competitions. That's absolutely not far right. In fact, I think most people would say that that's definitely has nothing to do with dictators or nothing to do with National Socialism or communism or the KKK. But to these people, it's all the same. It doesn't matter whether or not it's true. They can win if they think that way. So they're going to think that way. They're going to continue to try to attack white privilege, to take whatever they can from the white man because they have a history of winning. And if you were winning too, you probably would too also continue on that path that caused you to win. Sadly, they're now doing multi-month long riots, and we got to shut them down. Is there anything else? I just got to check to make sure I didn't miss any article. Yeah, there's one more, and then I'm out. This next article from the Daily Mail: chainsaw wielding men dripping in blood charge on Toronto beach. People on Cherry Beach in Toronto encountered 2 shirtless men covered in blood holding chainsaws in their hands Sunday morning following an early melee that left them injured. Here are the men. These are hood Democrats here in Toronto, Canada. This is what they look like in other countries. They just look absolutely just deranged. Trust me, they look that deranged in America. This is nothing new. But thank you for watching Real Simple News on Saturday, August 15th. It's now August 16th. But as I say every time, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and share this video to show your support. If you want to make a donation, you can do so at realsimplenews.net/issue77. Until next time, you've been watching Captain Kabuki read you really simple syndication articles from the intellectual dark web. And until next time, farewell, sayonara, aloha, peace be with you, and Godspeed in your journeys.